Crow Agency, Montana, home of Crow Fair, the teepee capital of the world. Since 1904, the Crow tribe has hosted Crow Fair, the largest gathering of Plains Indians in the country. To the Indians, it is known as the giant family reunion under the big sky.
It is a very important time for us. All year, all winter long, we talk about the Crow Fair, and it's a New Year's, it's a reunion for us. It's a very happy time.
Favorite thing about Crow Fair is the powwows and friends.
Crow Fair began as a county fair where the Crow Indians exhibited their homegrown produce, native foods, and handcrafts to compete for prizes.
The Apsauga used their own land. They have gardens, raise wheat, and about this time of the year when the gardens were right, everybody would bring their garden down here. When I was little, we used to ride horseback coming down from Lodgegrass. In those days, we don't have any horse trailer or pickup or anything. We would ride horses all the way down here. And when you look out there, there'd be nothing but horses down there.
Today, the event welcomes all tribes and all people from near and far. Over 2,000 teepees are put up in the valley of the Little Bighorn River, where fairgoers may camp for the entire 5-day festival. The Crow take great pride in the number of teepees they have in their camp. During the festival, visitors will often see Indians working to put up more and more teepees, creating a blanket of white over the campground landscape. Leaving behind its agricultural roots, Crow Fair has evolved into a vibrant display of Indian culture. Each day begins with a prayer at sunrise, followed by a morning parade. The parade provides an opportunity for the Crow to show off their horses, beadwork, and Pendleton blankets. The exuberance of Crow Fair belies the painful history of Native Americans in the United States. The white man's intervention dramatically altered the Indians' way of life. Their land was taken from them, and social ills set in. Government programs were created under the pretense of helping them by providing food, shelter, and education, when in fact they were designed to control the so-called savages and make them fit into the white man's society. The programs have largely failed, and the Indians live in poverty, struggling to maintain their own way of life. Yet despite what is at times a painful existence, Native Americans often choose to stay on the reservation.
We're not set up to live the way that we're living. The society's not set up to live that way, and it's destroying us. And there's no fix for it, you know. But I think people should take a hard look at why a lot of Native Americans end up the way they do is because of that culture shock.
Despite the fact that there are all of these social, psychological problems on the reservation, all of the Indians that I have talked to would not want to live anywhere else. They are quite content and quite happy. Some of the most generous, welcoming people I've ever met in my life. Why would anybody want to live here? Why don't they want to leave? Well, that's what we've tried to learn from the Crow. Why they feel it's so important to stay there. And why they can't really leave. The land that they live on, of course, was the land that was given them by the Creator. They were chosen to live there. It's the foundation of their culture. Native culture is organic. It grows out of their environment. Their stories, their ceremonies, their way of life grows directly out of their environment. So for them to leave would be like transplanting a plant from one environment to another. It's very difficult to do so.
I've lived both off the reservation. I started off living in California, moved here when I was a kid, and then grew up here until I hit adulthood. Then I left to go to the military and came back. What I'm finding out now is that of the two societies, I lived out in the world, but when I came back here, this is where I want to be. These people are rich with family, and it's rich in such a way that I haven't seen anything that could compare to it.